Welcome back to Talk of the Town. As promised, we're going to share with you a little bit about National Drug Take-Back Day, and we're going to do that with our news partner, the Medicine Shop Pharmacy of Monona, and you may recognize this gentleman. This is Eric Hewitt. How are you today?
I'm good.
Glad to have you. So I'm glad to share this with folks at home. First of all, I guess give us the overview. What is Drug Take-Back Day?
Yeah, so the DEA and the FDA do not allow pharmacies normally to take back medications to have them disposed of. They want to know kind of where that prescription's going, and they don't want it to end up, back in a pharmacy where they don't know, where it was dispensed, that kind of thing. So National Drug Take-Back Day is a way for people to get rid of their unused, unwanted, maybe expired medications that they have sitting in their medicine cabinet and have them disposed of safely and properly, both environmentally and then, community opportunity for people to get to, come and drop those off. Okay.
And tell us a little bit about the sort of, I guess, benefits to folks at home and the purpose of doing it, maybe on your end too.
Yeah, I think it's twofold, for us in terms of the environmental impact that it has. If people are throwing away, they can end up in the landfill, which just is waste. They can also end up, if people dump them down the toilet, they can end up, trace amounts can end up in the water supply. The other aspect is, having it end up in the wrong hands. If you have it sitting in your house, maybe a family member, maybe a friend can, go to the bathroom, take those pills and divert them into, places that they're not supposed to be, kind of a thing. So for those things, it's really important to have those drug take-back days so they are disposed of properly.
Right. Those are some interesting thoughts. One that I hadn't thought of before is how it may affect the environment and the water. So that's a really interesting component to consider when considering how you're disposing of them, because you might think flushing down the toilet, throw them in the garbage.
Right. They've actually done studies and shown that they actually can find trace amounts of these drugs in the water supply. Wow. Even though that water is treated, it goes through the treatment process, you can still find traces of that. So disposing them in this manner prevents that from happening.
Wow, really good to know. Another thing that you touched on is a little bit about the possibility for a family member or someone who's in your home to then take them. So let's expand on that a little bit and how National Drug Take-Back Day really relates to prescription drug abuse.
And prescription drug abuse is by far the fastest growing, and I think it might even now be the largest version of drug abuse these days. So having access to those medications, whether the person, the family member is taking them at the current time or not, just having them around in the home and having people get access to them is a huge, thing. And that can lead to trying to divert other prescriptions and even down the road using illicit street drugs, because the addiction started with prescription drug abuse. They can't get the prescriptions anymore, and so then they go to, things that are more like I said, illegal, illicit street drugs such as heroin and cocaine, that kind of stuff.
It's so interesting how such an innocent prescription that is a needed, for medical use then becomes something that is much more dangerous.
Definitely.
And a greater problem.
Yes.
Share with us why the Medicine Shop got involved with this before we go.
So a couple of things, we always wanted to be a part of our community. We want to do things that help out our community, not only on the social aspect of the prescription drug abuse, which we're greatly involved in with the City of Monona Police Department, but then also environmentally, we want to make sure that we're not contributing to any environmental issues in the City of Monona and Madison, but that we're helping out those things. So those are really important things for the Medicine Shop.
And if you want to participate, Drug Take-Back Day is April 29th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is that right?
Yep, right at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at 4205 Monona Drive.
Okay, good to know. Well, thank you very much for sharing this with us. I think it's an important, just really a community service announcement for people out there.
Absolutely.
And you can obviously find Eric Hewitt at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Monona for Drug Take-Back Day and lots of other needs that you may have.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, Eric.
Thanks for having us.
Medicine Shop is our news partner. We want to thank you for joining us. Thanks to all of our guests for joining us today. We thank you for watching. That's it for Talk of the Town. Please join us next time.